But we know hundreds of these lost Fast and Furious firearms are being traced to other deadly shootings now. The book, The Deadly Path, recounts this scandal, calling it, quote, one of the worst stains on federal law enforcement. And the author of that book, retired ATF Deputy Assistant Director Pete Forcelli, also whistleblower, is joining us tonight. Pete, you were exactly the person we wanted to speak with about this. Thank you so much. And I do want to start with Operation Fast and Furious, because we're talking about thousands of guns here allowed to walk, ending up in the hands of the cartel. No arrests of those kingpins. How did this go so wrong?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. Listen, this went off the tracks long before Fast and Furious actually kicked off, because I arrived in Phoenix after having been an agent in New York City for many years. I arrived in Phoenix in February of 2007. And what I saw going on there blew my mind. I mean, we were interdicting firearms, largely based on tips that we got from licensed gun dealers. And we were doing what cops do all over the United States. We were stopping the cars. We were asking probative questions. We were seizing the guns, thousands of guns between 2007 and 2009. And 90% of the time, U.S. prosecutors in Arizona would decline to prosecute the case. So obviously, it's difficult to stem the flow of firearms going into Mexico when you can't deter the bad guy from coming out there and buying the gun. And then to make matters worse, in the instances where guns had made their way to Mexico, because short purchases, which is where someone buys the gun for the trafficker, it's a felony, it's illegal to do, it's an act of deception. So in the instances where the dealers didn't see something suspicious and the gun was tracked back from Mexico, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Arizona had a hard and fast rule that they would not prosecute the case once the gun made it to Mexico, because of a policy they called the corpus delicti policy, which stated that the body of the crime, the gun, was in Mexico, therefore they no longer had the jurisdiction to prosecute it. It was the only district in the United States that took that stance. So in 2009, my group's focus changed because home invasions were through the roof in Phoenix. They led the country in home invasions because the cartel violence had spilled over into Arizona. And Phoenix Group 7 would have stood up. And this case was quarterbacked by a prosecutor from the United States Attorney's Office in Arizona. And the strategy was to let the guns go to Mexico, which made no sense because in the previous 3 years, they wouldn't prosecute the cases when the guns went to Arizona.
Yeah, so
Pete,
you say from the beginning, failed tragedy, and that this just made no sense. And Pete, this has real consequences, because in 2010, Border Patrol agent Brian Terry was killed with one of these guns. And you talk about this being a tipping point for you and other agents. Tell me more about the details of this case and why it was a tipping point.
Well, when we heard that guns were walking, we didn't believe it. I mean, it went against the grain of everything that we believed in as federal agents and as ATF agents in particular. When Brian was murdered, an agent that was in that group who saw how they were operating blew the whistle. And that same United States Attorney's Office that wouldn't prosecute countless firearms traffickers, there were rumblings they were going to prosecute that first whistleblower, John Dodson. So, I mean, there were two tipping points. One was the murder of a hero. Brian Terry was a hero by all accounts. And the second was a U.S. Attorney's Office that turned a blind eye to criminals, was contemplating indicting an agent who blew the whistle on Operation Fast and Furious. And that is when I, as a supervisor, I felt a duty to step forward. And I blew the whistle on what happened in Phoenix from 2007 up until Brian's death and even after. And look, it wasn't just firearms traffickers that they weren't prosecuting. There was an individual who was making grenades for the Sinaloa cartel.
I'm so glad that you bring this up, because in your book, you talk about prosecutors in Arizona blocking your agents from arresting this man who was making hundreds of hand grenades for the Sinaloa cartel. And he even confessed to doing so after being found with 114 disassembled grenades hidden in the tires at a border port. So why weren't prosecutors interested in this very clear case?
Well, in that instance, and this is going to really upset you like it did me, they said it lacked jury appeal. They said that he could say he's making those hilarious, I'm quoting them, hilarious complaint department take a number desktop novelty items. Look, I even reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York, which was working cases on the Sinaloa cartel, and they said they would have prosecuted it if we could have found like a wire transfer or a part that had been ordered from within their district. But here in Arizona, where this was actually occurring, they couldn't have cared less.
Wow, Pete, that must have been so frustrating. And I know that you are a whistleblower. You detailed how federal prosecutors in Arizona failed to prosecute weapons traffickers. I know that you say you've received retaliation and retribution for this. I really appreciate you coming on our air tonight, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Pete Forcelli, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.